Welcome to the James and Heather Show. I'm Heather Dawn.
And I'm James Guay, and we're here dishing out sex, love, and relationship advice.
Without all the sexual snobbery.
Exactly.
And we have a very cute guest here. I said I wasn't going to mess up her name, and I just did it on the first letter. Ivana Miličević.
Yes.
It's more important that you got the last name right. I'm sorry if I make you nervous.
Right?
Have you seen what she looks like? You'd make anybody nervous. I'm sweating.
You both look great.
Oh,
Thank you.
Well, and we're so excited to be talking about sex, love, relationship stuff with you.
I love those things.
Right?
Yes.
Great topics.
And so we want to know about different things. We want to know about your personal life as much as you're willing to reveal. And then, of course, Hollywood life compared to real love life and really what the differences are. And, of course, your experiences on this matter.
Oh, okay, great. I'd love to share with you. What do you want to know first?
Well,
Who are you?
Yeah, tell us a little bit
Who
about
am
yourself.
I? You're starting with like the most
Actress.
meta existential question. I'm figuring that out.
Yeah, right. Aren't we all?
I mean, I don't know if your listeners and viewers know that I am an immigrant from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I came to America when I was 5 years old, almost 6.
Wow. To Michigan, right?
To Michigan, to Detroit. And I started kindergarten halfway through, and I graduated in 12th grade half early. So I think I have the least amount of schooling than most graduates.
Oh, interesting.
In this
Is that
country.
because you were smart?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty much.
No,
As opposed to just winking her way.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Not even in Michigan. And I moved to LA when I was 17.
Wow.
Okay.
Did
What
you move
got
with
you
your
into
family?
acting?
Ooh.
Sorry.
Hey, you first.
Right?
No, you first.
I'm curious about how you're acting.
At the moment, I had a very excellent theater department at my high school in Troy, Michigan, Athens High School.
Yeah, Michigan.
Hello, Krista Manfredi. She's our director, and she's really awesome. We did really amazing plays.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was a point where I realized that you could act for a living, and I was like, wait, what? That could be your job? And then that was going to be my job. The moment I realized it could be. That, and my father took me quite inappropriately to see Dune when it was in the theaters.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys are probably too young for that.
And a friend of mine.
Too young for that.
So the young Olly, my friend Alicia Witt played. That was one of her breaking roles into the business. Redheaded.
She must have been tiny.
She played the young Olly, the baby. Yeah.
Yeah, she would have had to be really, because I'm talking about the David Lynch movie.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
So, but I really loved that movie, especially when they were walking, trying to walk evasively so that the sandworms don't get them.
Yeah.
And there was that part where that Kyle MacLachlan, his eyes were all blue with spice, and he got on a sandworm and he rode it, mounted it and rode it, and I was like,
She's all like he was in a dance club. He wrote it.
But he did. It was like there was wind in his hair, and I thought
There was wind in everyone's hair in the 80s.
I really felt like what it would maybe be like to be riding on a sandworm, and they were huge, guys. Any Dune nerds would know. and I was like, the only place I would ever get to do something like that would be Hollywood. So it was kind of those couple of things where I would. I mean, listen, I think acting to pursue a life in Hollywood is as hard as anything else. You just have to love it.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to love it and want to do it, because there is a lot of rejection. There's a lot of it, but there isn't anything you do.
Right.
Yeah. And you and I were talking about that just before we started, because I had a life as an actor, and I was just like, I'd done TV shows, and I was just like, after about 10 years, I was just like, you know what? I want to write.
Yeah.
I want to write.
Right.
And I really loved writing. I liked acting, but I loved writing.
Right. And then why would you pursuing acting is way too hard to like it willy-nilly.
Yeah.
No.
I completely understand, and I respect your decision.
Yeah, it's all good though,
Well, so you found your passion in acting, and you've been on several movies and TV shows, and
I have a sub question.
yeah, go for it.
When you said you came here at 17, was that with your family, or did you come by yourself?
because I graduated early.
Got it.
And I was modeling at that time.
Okay.
Which I knew would just get me places.
Got it.
And then I knew that I could. I don't know. I just knew that I would somehow find my way into it.
Yeah.
Good for
I don't
you.
know how, because people ask me, how'd you do it? And it was luck, and I think putting out the energy that that's what I wanted to do. Because at the time when I was modeling, this was in the 90s, right? At that time, the business was very different, and if you were a model, you were not automatically given auditions.
Yeah.
And not that every model is automatically an actor now, but they're much more open to see if a girl It's happening with Cara Delevingne.
Oh, don't ask me. I just messed up your name. Are you kidding? And that one's easy to pronounce.
It's happening with a lot of girls now, which is great because they're really beautiful, and some of them are really good, and they're bringing a lot to it. But all I'm saying is that did not happen at that time. If you were a model, you certainly didn't tell them about it.
Right.
So at what point, and I think you were, what was the question you had asked? Because I didn't want to, I was going to ask her something else, but I didn't want to forget your question.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, no. We just wanted to sort of introduce the roles that you've been on. You were most recently in Banshee. That's
right. Yes.
Right?
Banshee is my favorite
with
job to date. With our
one of our
love,
favorite who introduced us, Frankie
Faison.
Hi, Frankie.
Frankie Faison.
Best actor, best guy on the planet.
He's so great.
Yeah.
We love him very much. He played a one Sugar Bates in Banshee.
Amongst many other roles, much like you. You both have a very long resume.
Oh, yes, exactly the same. Frankie Faison.
I mean, you guys have so many roles that you've played.
We have. I've worked a lot. I've been really, really blessed, dare I say, but I have been.
Yeah.
So
but
Banshee.
I also have a pretty positive outlook about this stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And you enjoy it. Like you can see when you're talking about it, you can see you like it, the excitement.
I love it, and I love the business, and I just love movies and good television. I really, and good plays. I enjoy it. Now, it doesn't mean that it hasn't broken my heart a lot of times. It also doesn't mean that every time working, every day working is a delight either.
Yeah.
None of those, that is not true 100% of the time.
Right.
But still, overall, it's make-believe.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're doing your passion and enjoying it, and we'd love to hear your perspective again about sort of Hollywood love versus real love and what your experience has been, what you've seen. And...
Well, I've never dated an actor myself. I mean, when I was younger, I dated a writer. We were so young, though. He was a young writer-director, which was great, and I think that's okay for me. But I wouldn't date, or I haven't. No, it's not even that I wouldn't. I haven't ever dated an actor.
Yeah.
I just think that we're two butterflies.
Yeah.
I think that actors are butterflies, and I think that there should be a butterfly and a flower. I'm the butterfly, so I kind of like having a rock to land on.
Yeah. It's a complementary
and then I float away,
system
and
there.
then I come back.
A writer is a good rock.
That works well for you.
For me, now some people think that nobody else would understand. I've tended to find people outside of the business who understand what I do, and kind of enjoy it because it is different.
Yeah.
No, the roles that you tend to do, are they because you're beautiful? Would you say that you tend to book like sexy, beautiful, romantic leads, or the pretty girlfriend, or things that are in that vein, or are
First
you
of all,
like
everyone.
cop?
I am not everyone's cup of tea. Number one. Thank
You're
you
a
for
lot
saying
of
I'm
people's
beautiful.
cup of tea,
I may be a few people's
let's be
cup
real.
of tea, but totally not everyone's.
It's subjective. Yeah.
To that end, I certainly have never played a cop.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
But I haven't been cast as that. I because I'm from a Slavic country, I have been lucky to have to be able to play a type, because I think a lot of great actors don't have a type to play. So I played. I made not even a lot of money, but I did a lot of roles playing Russians or spies or people that'll eat your husband for breakfast.
Like Casino Royale, right?
Casino Royale is one of them. Let me see. I did that in...
I put just a few of these. I didn't put them in any order.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Seinfeld was the first job I ever did, and I played
really?
a Russian there.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And then Felicity, even though I didn't play with an accent, I was a Russian there.
Wow.
On Eastwick, I didn't have an accent, but I was some kind of like a tough Slavic woman. Charmed, well, I was a Valkyrie, so that's like that's an other
Doesn't
world.
matter.
Banshee, I was
Interesting.
Lithuanian, yeah.
So you do play a lot of roles.
No,
that are
I was Ukrainian. What am I saying?
Okay.
But it's still sort of these Slavic based.
Exactly. I mean, Jennifer Lopez, I think, isn't going to play a part that doesn't end in like Garcia Estevez or whatever. I mean, there's some stuff that there's just a structure to it. Doesn't mean that you can't play a full range of amazing characters.
Sure.
But she's a Latin goddess, gorgeous Latin woman.
Right.
She's going to play the Latin woman version of.
Right.
On a side note, do you speak a lot of languages or just one?
Just two.
Two. Yeah.
Italian's kind of easy, but I don't speak it fluently.
Yeah. So, and you've sort of touched base on a few of the things that we were asking, but we were talking about physical appearances and getting roles. And do you find that that's been an effect on anything that you have or have not booked?
Sure. how can it not? Being a brunette or a blonde will have an effect on whether you'll book something. Listen, a room of people, I've not gotten jobs because they haven't thought I was pretty enough of what they are looking for, and I've not gotten jobs because they thought I was too pretty, and I've not gotten jobs because they thought I was too chubby, which I could have been at the time. Like it's a whole plethora of things.
You know, I remember once when I was a young girl, and I'm from New York, and I was, as you know, very active in the business, and I was up for the soap opera, and I didn't want to do soap opera, but I didn't care. I wanted money because I wanted.
You did Shakespeare.
I did do Shakespeare.
I mean, I've never done Shakespeare.
But I did not want to scoop ice cream anymore and Ben and Jerry's, which I did
delicious?
do. I did
Ben
do.
and Jerry's isn't my favorite.
I did scoop ice cream there on 9th and 3rd Avenue. That being said, I remember the feedback came, and I'm quoting, they thought you had too many freckles.
What? Like there's something you can do
like
about
you,
wow.
Like you, talented, what we're looking for, but there's just too many freckles.
Right.
too many freckles.
Yeah.
And it's things like that. Like it's when you walk into a room if they're kind of in love with you or if they're in love with somebody else.
Yeah.
You can feel that.
Yeah.
But that's okay because the truth is I really don't want any job that isn't mine to be had.
Sure.
There's a job for everyone. I want all the actresses to work, all the actors to work. So I'll take the ones that are mine, and they can have the ones that are theirs.
Yeah.
And are you single now, or are you in a relationship, or do you not want to share, which is totally
I don't
fine?
want to share.
Perfect.
Boundaries.
There's a
What?
reason.
No,
Good
that's fine.
job.
But I can still totally talk about relationships.
Totally fine. We have no issues with people saying I don't want to
Yes.
answer. But what do you think it's like dating in Los Angeles? Because you've
I
lived in.
actually tend to date outside of Los Angeles
Smart.
too. I mean, I had a
Outside of
boyfriend that was
acting, outside of Los
Australian.
Angeles,
I had a boyfriend that was living in New York because to me it doesn't matter. I was working on Banshee for 4 years. So for 4 years, half the year I
Philly,
was in.
right?
It was 3 years in Charlotte, then 1 year in Pittsburgh.
Got it. Pittsburgh.
So for 3 years or 4 years, half the year I wasn't in LA.
Right.
So it doesn't matter where my guy lives as long as he can and is willing to travel. Because when I'm off, I'll go wherever he is. And I kind of like having 2 countries or 2 cities so to me that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Plus I'm older now. I need the right person, not just the proximity.
Right.
Plus with technology today,
Yeah.
You can have dates on Skype.
not only can you have dates on Skype, but in a way you're getting.
You can have sex on Skype.
Hello.
You sure can.
And now it's like we had these toy people on from the Pleasure Chest. There's a toy now called WeVibe, which your person who's on the computer on the other side can have the remote control or their phone hooked up to the device that goes in you and literally
From a different
control.
area.
Well, way to look out, WeVibe. With the technology, but I think actually for relationships it could be very good because if you notice, and if you've had a long distance relationship, or if your partners have ever left, the hours you spend talking like this and looking in each other's eyes is not something that people tend to do too much when they're in the same space in the same city.
On a day-to-day basis,
you tend to be like this. Like even if you're out together, a group of people dinner, you're like this. You're talking to everyone. You may be touching, but you're not. You're talking to
Looking.
everybody else.
Right.
So it could be, I think, great and in some ways deeper.
Yeah. Because you have quality time with the time that you
have
huh?
quality time with the time you have, and it's an intense present situation.
Right.
Sure, you can open up Skype or FaceTime and make dinner while you're talking and do it that way. But I found with my long distance relationships that I can have a lot of connection. It's a different connection. I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm just saying it's equal but different.
Right.
That I think people don't have.
Yeah.
That if they're solely together all the time.
Yeah.
Well, so that sounds like part of your advice, I'd imagine, for people, dating tips and advice is to have some level of time you're really just being present with the person you're with.
You wouldn't need that if you were in the same city or not in the same city.
Yeah.
I would think that, well, it depends on the people. Some people just want to have somebody in their bed with them when they come home and they both want to do their own thing.
Sure.
That's fine. Whatever everyone agrees on. But if you're looking for more connection, there's so many ways now that you can get it.
Definitely.
And so, you had stated, wow, what is wrong with speaking to
It's all good. It's
I
part of
need to
being
take my
live.
speech impediment pill. So you had said that you didn't date actors, and it wasn't by choice, but it was not looking. It just hasn't happened.
Haven't.
Yeah.
Because there's always, I've found that there's this rule, or at least there's just saying, like, they're always saying, like, don't date actors.
Yes, I mean, listen, they say don't date actors, but I think it's more don't date artists, right? Because they're sensitive beings. Notice I'm saying they're as if I'm not.
They are.
They are. We can tend to be sensitive beings. We are performing outwardly, you know, so it's a lot of judgment and vulnerability, and that can be a lot for some people, and I think some people really like it. And some people don't. I personally, for me, don't think that two artists are it's too much art. It's too feminine or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be the feminine, and I like a very masculine counterpart.
Well, and the other side of things is when people put artists or actors, actresses on a pedestal and sort of idealize them,
There's
or
also
feel
that.
like insecure about their worth or value in comparison to. Right?
Well, there's that, but that could happen again with any. Oh, okay, sure. So in our country, actors are sort of the royalty.
Right.
Whereas you go to places that actually have a king or a queen, have an actual royalty.
Right.
Actors are. I think they literally call them darlings. Right, so it's a completely different thing. They may be celebrated, but it's not right. So here there is that added element. But I have me personally, I have like a very sustainable life. It's not like I can't go anywhere. Like I'm not a friend off of Friends where wow, your life is now forever changed.
Right.
But now you're talking about insecurities and things that person has to deal with their therapist themselves. Anyway, we're talking about self-worth. We're talking about raising up a personal barrier. It could be maybe more magnified if you're dating a huge celebrity. But the same would be true if you're comparing yourself to your partner if he's an accomplished surgeon. That has to be something that heals in you. Because if that's in one person, then it doesn't really matter. I mean, by the way, if that's in you, you might invent the difference between the two of you anyway.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you are
What do
preaching
I
to
know?
the choir. I mean, really.
You guys should be talking.
Well, and that's the thing, is that we all have value, right? We all bring
all have
something
value
to the table, and it's about acknowledging that and coming from a place that recognizes that. That's, those are the healthiest relationships, right?
Absolutely. I discovered something in myself with my last relationship. This is like a really big share, but it's psychological. And I'm sure at least maybe even half of us or half of the viewers are similar. Like I've always been kind of a fixer.
Right? I can relate to that.
Right? So like
I just wrote a whole blog about stuff like that.
Right. So and I think I read one of those like codependency books, like Women Who Love Too Much or something. And then I thought, okay, I see where in my childhood I was taught to be a fixer, because at a very young age, because we were immigrants, I had to watch my younger brothers.
Oh yeah.
So from an early age, we're an immigrant family. I was taught love is helping, love is doing like
Sacrificing.
more and sacrificing. So I was like, oh, cool. And my parents are, and it's caretaking. And my parents are still married. We have a great little family, like a quite successful family, not perfect, but successful. Anyway, what it led to in me was like this caretaking person where I liked broken birds. But then when I started to ask the questions, I realized I was like, wait, why am I doing that? And then I realized I was like, wait, I don't think I have a worth. I'm not worth enough if I'm not fixing. So if I met somebody that had, not that was as good as me, because it's not a value thing. It's just more similar in our views, our styles of relationship. I think I thought I wouldn't be good enough. I wouldn't be enough for that person.
Yeah.
But then I started asking myself questions like, wait, is that true? What do you have to offer besides help and
nurturing
and caretaking? Right.
Yeah.
Not that any of that stuff is bad, but it's got to be in the appropriate amount for the situation.
It's interesting because I always, when I'm talking with friends about relationships and stuff, it's always like, well, this is what he's doing for me, and this is what he's doing, and this is and I'm always like, well, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? I've sat in those same conversations where I've sat across someone and, this is what you do for me, and this is what I like about you, and I'm all like, what is it you think I'm into? about you.
Because healthy relationships have to be reciprocal, right?
Yeah, flip
Absolutely.
the lens.
Yeah.
Get out of your own perspective for a second, you know?
And, I also notice with those in the helping profession, whether it's therapists.
Are you a therapist?
I am, yeah.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
licensed
Marriage and family therapist.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I love that.
So a lot of us tend to do the same kind of thing that you're talking about, right?
Well, a lot of you probably went into that profession because
You're the
you already
parentified
naturally
child, or right?
Exactly.
We feel value in caretaking, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're saying, we have to look at our own stuff and not like caretake or over empathize with others at our own expense, and make sure that
Right.
we're also showing up and receiving.
Absolutely. And I found the moment I realized this, the moment the subconscious, because I didn't realize I was doing it per se, but then when the subconscious became kind of conscious, and then I asked the question of like, wait, this belief I seem to have had. First, I discovered what that belief was, and I was like, wait, is that true?
Yeah.
And it wasn't true. I have so much to offer somebody besides this dysfunctional thing. And I've had quite good relationships. It's not that they've been bad, but you know, I'm always trying to let go of the things I don't need and take things to the next level in my life, because then I'll resonate at a higher level of consciousness, and then everyone around me can too. I mean, everyone can do that for each other, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, we all have worth and value just for being us. Not
Yes.
for what we do or what we don't do, or what role we have, or all those kinds of
Absolutely.
things. We just have inherent.
We're one.
Yeah, exactly.
So true. So true. Thank you so much
Oh, you're welcome.
for sharing.
Yes. Thanks for coming.
Well, it's a
on.
great thing. It's great to be on the other side of it, sort of, because I've gotten to, and you're welcome.
And if you have any last minute advice or anything for anybody, or you want to just say goodbye?
I really like putting butter in my coffee. It makes me not crave sugar.
Oh, nice.
We're going to do a little blip on that in a second.
Right? We're going to have some beauty tips from her as well, so stay tuned for that.
Thank you very much. You can tell everybody where they can reach you or fan you or like you or massage you.
Oh, guys, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram on at Ivana Miličević. And I never Snapchat, but I do have a handle, and it's Ivana the Hut.
Ooh.
Nice.
I don't Snapchat at all, just so you know. But we do
We'll work
have
on
James
that.
Heather Show, SHO.
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yes. And our website is thejamesandheathershow.com, where you can listen to our radio podcasts. We're going to do one here as well.
And check us out on SoundCloud.
Exactly.
SoundCloud.
Thank you.
Bye.